Good day, sir. Good day, classmate. I'm Rovie from BSBA 4A. My topic is all about employee relations strategy. So, what is the employee relations strategy? The employee relations strategy may emphasize processes of involvement and participation, including the implementation of programs for continuous improvement in total quality management, and should be distinguished from employee relation policies. Concerns of employee relations strategy. Employee relations strategy will be concerned with how to 1. Build stable and cooperative relationship with employees that minimize conflict. 2. Achieve commitment through employee involvement and communication processes. 3. Develop mutuality. A common interest in achieving the organization goals through the development of organizational culture based on shared values between management and employees. Yung concern of employee relations, makakabuild si organization ng strong employee-employer relationship and mas madaling ma-meet si organizational goal through common interest ni employee and employer. Strategic directions. Changing forms of recognition, including single union or derecognition, change in the form and content of agreement, new bargaining structures, including decentralization or single-table bargaining, achievement of increased commitment through involvement of participation, giving employee a voice, communicate directly with employee, increasing managerial controls of operation in such areas of flexibility, improving the employee relation climate in order to produce more harmonious and cooperative relationship, developing a partnership with trade unions, recognizing that employees are stakeholders and that is to the advantage of both parties to work together. This could be described as a unitary strategy aiming at increasing mutual commitment. Around to employee relations strategies. Four approaches to employee relation have been identified by Industrial Relations Services 1993. Adversarial. The organization decides what it wants to do and employees are expected to fit in. Employees only exercise power by refusing to cooperate. 2. Traditional. A good day-to-day working relationship but management proposes and the workforce reacts through its elected representatives. 3. Partnership. The organization involves employees in the drawing up and execution of organization policies but retains the right to manage. 4. Power sharing. Employees are involved in both day-to-day and strategic decision-making. HRM approach to employee relation. The philosophy of HRM has been translated into the following prescriptions, which constitutes the HRM for employee relations. A drive for commitment, winning the hearts and minds of employees to get them to identify with the organization, to exert themselves more on its behalf, and to remain with the organization, thus ensuring a return on their training and development. An emphasis on mutuality, getting the message across that we are all in this together and that the interests of management and employees coincide a unitarist approach. Organization of complementary forms of communication, such as team briefing, alongside traditional bargaining, approaching employees directly as individual or groups rather than through their representatives, and a shift from collective bargaining to individual contracts. The use of employee involvement techniques such as quality circle or improvement groups, continuous pressure on quality, total quality management, increased flexibility in working arrangement, including the multi-skilling to provide for the more effective use of human resources, sometimes accompanied by an agreement to provide secure employment for the core workers, emphasis on teamwork, harmonization of terms and conditions for all employees. Mention of traditional industrial relation and HRM. The dimension of traditional indifference in industrial relation to human resource management. Dimension, psychological contracts sa industrial relation compliance sa HRM is commitment. Second is behavior references, relations, and industrial relation norms, custom, practice, law, trust, pluralist, collective will in HRM, value, mission, high trust, unitarist, individual. Third is organization design in industrial relation, formal rules, hierarchy, division of labor, managerial control. If turned to HRM, flexible rules, flat structure, teamwork and autonomy, self-control. Options. There are a number of policy options that need to be considered when developing employer relations strategy. The following four options have been described by Guest 1995. 1. The new realism, a high emphasis on HRM and industrial relation. The aims is to integrate HRM and industrial relation. 2. Traditional collectivism. Priority to industrial relation without HRM. This involves retaining the traditional pluralist industrial relation arrangement within an eventually unchanged industrial relation system. 3. Individualized HRM. High priority to HRM with no industrial relation. According to Guess, this approach is not every common except in North American-owned firms. It is, he believes, essentially piecemeal and opportunistic. 4. The black hole. No industrial relation. This option is becoming more prevalent in organizations in which HRM is not a policy priority for management, but where they do not see that there is a compelling reason to operate within a traditional industrial relation system. When such organizations are facing a decision on whether or not to recognize a union, they are increasingly deciding not to do so. Leading employer relations strategies. Pittsburgh 1987 words emerged in response to an evolving situation. A partnership agreement may well be the best way of getting employer relations strategies into action. This can be expressed in writing, but and can also be clarified through involvement in communication processes. A partnership agreement may well be the best way of getting employee relations strategies into action.